everyone, so today I'm going to show you a few of the new beauty products that I've acquired over the last couple of weeks. It's not really going to be like a haul video, but I'm just going to show you a few things that I've got and, you know, my first impressions on them. So I was actually in London last week and I definitely took the opportunity to pick up a few things there that I hadn't been able to get my hands on anywhere else, and I actually bought quite a lot of makeup, which I'm surprised by because usually I'd be more about the skincare, but I think I've kind of found a skincare routine at the moment that I'm so happy with. I just don't want to try anything else. It's really strange because usually I'm chopping and changing between things, trying out new products all the time, but at the moment I'm just really happy with what I have. So I'll definitely be putting up a skincare routine soon for you because I know a lot of people have been asking me about that. One thing I did get though was the Pixi Glow Tonic, and this is something that I've wanted for quite a long time. I've been using my Clarins Gentle Exfoliating Toner, which is really nice. But I use that more in the evening, so I wanted a similar thing that I could use in the daytime that was slightly more gentle, and this is basically an exfoliating toner, so it's got kind of fruit acids and glycolic in it as well, so it just kind of polishes the skin off and it's more of a gentle way to exfoliate, which I've been really preferring to do at the moment. Some people will know that this went out of stock for such a long time and it was really hard to get hold of, but I just happened to stop by the Pixi store and there was a couple there, so I picked one up, and I've actually been using this now for probably a week or so, maybe a little bit longer, and I really have noticed that it is so brightening and exfoliating and kind of just makes my skin look incredibly radiant but really, really smooth too. I've even noticed, I'm not sure if it is this, but I think it may have something to do with it, that a lot of the kind of pores around my nose have really closed up and they just kind of look a little bit clearer and fresher, so I think this is a really great skincare product and I've definitely been enjoying incorporating that into my routine. I also picked up a body product, and this is the And Other Stories Fig Fiction body scrub, and I've never actually been to And Other Stories, but it's a really amazing shop. It's got some really nice clothes, really great style, but it's also got so many beauty products. They have all sorts of different scents and smells and ranges, but with the same product. So there's about 10 different scrubs, 10 different body washes, all sorts of things, all different fragrances. So this is the fig one, which is quite musky and deep. I kind of got this one because I thought going into kind of autumn, winter soon, it would be a nice smell to have. The thing I like about this is that it's so rich. It's kind of like a really hard scrub, so when you actually open it up and, you know, try to get a little bit out, you have to kind of like really dig it out, but that makes the scrub so much more exfoliating. I think they've just really packed all the beads together, even just opening that. Oh, the smell is just incredible. It really lingers as well. The smell kind of really stays with you, which I was kind of surprised by because it is just a scrub that you wash off. So I definitely want to get hold of the body lotion, maybe the body butter, all the range, because I think it's just a really lovely fragrance. Something similar actually that I will just quickly mention that I picked up in the Space NK sale a couple of weeks ago is the Diptyque fragrance Veti Verio. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I can never say any of the Diptyque names, but there you go. This is actually in the old packaging, you might notice. It's in the square bottles, which I think I kind of prefer. So they're obviously selling it off, you know, really, really cheap to get rid of the old bottles. So I got this for £20 and it was supposed to be, I think, 60 or 70. This is the full size. Although I don't think it has any fig in it, it's actually a very similar fragrance to the body scrub, so layering them together is really nice. I think it's actually got vetiver in it, which I really, really like at the moment. It's kind of a deep, musky, almost quite planty smell, but I've just been preferring to wear that recently, so I'll get a lot of use out of that one, I'm sure. So moving on to makeup, and if you follow me on Twitter, you should know that I've had such a struggle to try and get hold of the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer over the last couple of months, and I remember it was completely out of stock for ages and ages. My shade in particular, which is Vanilla, the one that they matched me to, I just couldn't seem to get hold of it anywhere, but I finally managed to find one in Selfridges last week, and I've actually been really enjoying using it. It's not quite what I expected it to be. It's a lot kind of thicker, but more kind of creamy. It almost feels like it's quite whipped, quite airy, so I find just pressing it into the skin really melts it in and it sits really, really well. Considering it's quite radiant and quite glowy, it doesn't crease at all, it doesn't kind of come off too easily. It's really long lasting, but it's super, super pigmented, so you barely need any of it. So alongside that, I've been using the Nars Sheer Glow foundation, and it was kind of a spontaneous purchase. I just decided to pick both of them up while I was there, and this stuff has been around for so long. I think ever since I started watching YouTube videos, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, people have been using this and raving about it, and I'm actually so, so glad I got it. This just seems to be the perfect foundation. It's got great coverage, but it's not heavy, and it just kind of smooths out the skin, and it's lovely and radiant, but it's not too shiny at all, and I really, really like it. I think it's very similar actually to the Gemma Kid Light as Air foundation, which you should all know I absolutely love, and I'm kind of really sad that you can't get hold of anymore, so I might have found a replacement for it. Two kind of slightly annoying things about this though, it doesn't come with a pump, so you either have to kind of treacherously pour it out and waste loads of product, or actually purchase one separately. I think it was only a couple of pounds, but it does really add to it, and then you can't even put the lid on top, so it just kind of sits there with the pump open. I don't think it looks particularly nice. And then the second thing is, like most Nars packaging, it's really matte, so it just gets dirty so quickly, and kind of that's not a major deal, but that annoys me. So another thing that I managed to pick up that's been out of stock every other time I tried to get it is the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, and I was really intrigued by this because I sometimes need to set my concealer with powder, but most of them just tend to make your eyes look a little bit duller rather than brightening them up. But this one is actually supposed to make them look brighter and more awake, and it's actually got tiny little flecks of not glitter, but just the sheen, like a kind of sparkle in it, but that goes completely invisible once it's on. But it definitely does kind of give you more radiance under there. It kind of brightens. It doesn't look like powder, it just looks like a really kind of nice satiny finish. I've actually used this every single day since I got it, and I'm really enjoying using it. So I think if you have problems with concealer creasing under your eyes but you don't want to use a heavy powder, this is definitely a great thing to try. So recently I've been getting back into Benefit makeup, and I used to have every single one of their box blushes. I remember thinking they were just the best things ever, but I kind of lost interest in them about a year ago. But I bought the Havana blush a few months ago, and I really enjoyed that, so I picked up their new one, which is called Rockature. Now, first thing, the packaging is just awful. I think it's really tacky looking. It's kind of like a gold crocodile snakeskin with pink lace over it, and I'm sure they were going for kind of like a rock chick look, but I just really don't like it. But the actual blush is really pretty. It's got rock written into it. And it's kind of almost like a bluey pink, which I don't usually go for, but similar to Havana, just something that I've been really drawn to. It's actually quite different to their other blushes. It's got kind of a sparkle and a sheen in it, but it's not glittery at all, so it's nowhere near as sparkly as Coralista or Sugar Bomb, but it just gives a really pretty kind of glowy flush on the cheeks, and I think the colour's really nice. You can kind of build it up to be quite dark, or you can keep it quite natural and subtle. So the last kind of high-end thing I have to show you here is actually something quite special. I've wanted one of these for so long because I think they're just absolutely beautiful, and this is a YSL Rouge Volupte. So these were actually in the Feel Unique sale, and I was kind of shocked to find them there because you don't usually get such a high-end expensive product with so much discount off. So I think they were something like 15 or 20% off, which brought them down to just under £20. It took me quite a while to decide which colour to get, but in the end I went for number 13 Peach Passion because I thought it would just be a colour that I could get so much wear out of. It's just a really pretty kind of corally warm pink, just a really nice everyday colour, so I'm really excited about starting to wear that. So I've actually bought quite a few lip products recently, and another one I have here is from Smashbox. And Smashbox is a brand that I've never really had too many things from, but now they've gone into boot stores, and I actually have one in my local store, a counter, so I can go and swatch things and try them out. I think I'm going to be getting quite a few things from them because they're a really great brand. But this is called Electric Pink, and it's a matte lipstick. It's actually what I have on at the moment, and it's a really great coloured pink. It reminds me of MAC Impassioned, which I do have as well, but I find that sometimes that's a bit too glossy. I think when I go for a bright lipstick I do prefer it to be matte, so this one really sits nicely and it kind of stays nice and velvety looking, but still quite moisturising too, so I'm really impressed with the formula of that one. So sticking along the lines of matte lipsticks, I actually saw these on the Sleek counter and I hadn't seen them before, so they must be quite new, but they're called the Matte Me Ultra Smooth Matte Lip Creams, and I've been loving these whole kind of new age lipsticks where they're in more of like a doe foot applicator, kind of like the liquid lipstick, so similar to the Hourglass one or the Rimmel Apocalypse. What I really love about these though is that they go on really thinly and really pigmented, but then they kind of dry down and they look like you're wearing just a really nice bright matte lipstick, but they feel so weightless and so light, it doesn't really feel like you've got anything on there. I got two colours. These are called Party Pink and Rosy Red. I actually had the pink one on yesterday and I put it on at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I had lunch, I had loads of drinks and things, and about 6 o'clock I looked in the mirror again, and I'm not even joking, it looked exactly the same as when I put it on in the morning, so I'm actually amazed by the lasting power of these. So if you've been watching my videos for quite a while, or if you've been reading my blog for a long time, you should know that I always used to have to wear a really kind of thick black liquid liner on my top lashes in a kind of like a cap flick. I think it was more like a security blanket kind of thing. I just felt like I needed it and I looked naked without it. But recently I've been sort of embracing more of a minimal makeup look, so I haven't really been wearing anything but eyeshadow and mascara on my eyes. Recently though, I was looking at the Rimmel stand and I saw that they had some new eyeliners just come out, and this is the Scandaleyes Precision Micro Eyeliner, and I cannot even explain how small this little nib is. It's a felt tip liner, which I sort of prefer to use if I am going to wear a liquid liner, just because I find it gives you a bit more control with what you're doing. But it's just so tiny. You can get the smallest, thinnest little line out of it, the tiniest little flick, and I can just kind of wear eyeliner more now in a way that kind of thickens up my lashes but doesn't look like I'm wearing a thick kind of line of it, which I really prefer to do. The formula is actually waterproof as well, so it really does stick around, and I think it's just a really great liner that I'm going to get a lot of use out of over the next couple of weeks. So the last thing I have to show you here is quite a new product from Maybelline, and it's got me quite excited. It's the Brow Drama Sculpting Brow Mascara, and I think this is probably the first of its kind in like the drugstore makeup section. It's basically like a clear mascara but tinted. So this is the medium brown shade, and it's got a really funky wand actually. It's kind of thicker at the end and then thinner at the bottom, so you can kind of comb through the fuller part of the brow and then the arch as well. I find this is really great when I don't want to wear too much makeup, but I just want to kind of define my brows slightly. So I just comb a bit through onto my natural brows, but also if you're wearing powder or liner through them, it just kind of helps to set that all down but also give it a little bit more colour as well. I'm really impressed with Maybelline for actually bringing this out, and I think their new releases have been really great as well. So Maybelline are kind of on form at the moment, and I think this is going to be a really popular item. So those are all the latest additions to my beauty stash, and I hope you enjoyed watching that. I'm sure there'll be sort of various reviews and things popping up on my blog soon of all of those, which you can find at www.icovetthee.com. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.